Hi, this is Team 17. We are going to present why information technology is improving democracy in developed countries. Democracy is a system of government by the people or citizens in which power is vested in the people and exercised directly by them or by their elected representatives under a free electoral system. In the words of Abraham Lincoln, democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Democracy consists of four key elements: a system for choosing and replacing the government through elections, mass civic participation in politics, the protection of human rights of everyone, and a set of laws that apply to all citizens. Information technology is the use of computers to transmit, store, and manipulate information. It allows for the democratization of information, making it such that any individual of society is able to access pertinent information critical to the democratic process. This keeps the people informed. It also allows for the freedom of speech so that any individual of society can express opinions regarding political issues. Through the internet, petitions can be held and joined easily, which serves as an entry point for civic participation. Government representatives are active and responsive through social media, which holds them accountable and narrows the gap of communication between citizens and officials, and increases political transparency. This allows for a much cheaper and more efficient way to communicate. The people are constantly up to date about elections, so they can make informed decisions when voting. Freedom of speech can be defined as the ability to share and express an opinion without constraint. The digital revolution, a phenomenon driven by the combination of the personal computer, the internet, and the mobile phone, has now been underway for half a century. In the process, it has triggered the most comprehensive transformation of our information environment. The influence of the internet upon freedom of speech is an essential part of democracy in developed countries. People are able to express their opinions through different networks and share their concerns with regard to social and political issues. It's an extremely efficient way of delivering information to the public with the least amount of effort. Although some might argue that information technology would allow censorship and allow governments to control people, the benefits of sharing opinions and having an open network for everyone to see is far more beneficial. Technology has become significantly more advanced in the past decade. People are now able to document and share their opinion publicly. For example, if the government is creating a new policy, the general public has access to this information, and they can debate whether it is favorable or not. Access to technology allows the public to analyze and think of what implications a certain project will have and take action against it if needed. This allows the public to exercise their democratic rights. Technology is increasing the number of people who have access to information. People from all socioeconomic classes are now able to retrieve an increasing amount of materials through internet, which is available publicly. We no longer have to pay excessive fees to access information, therefore ensuring that the majority of the population are able to share their opinion on important matters and hence create a democratic society. Information technology has had a positive impact on democracy in developed countries. Access to social media has allowed citizens to communicate issues in society and are able to hold the government accountable. For example, in 2013, the Black Lives Matter movement on social media began after the acquittal of George Zimmerman in the shooting death of a young African-American teen named Trayvon Martin. Since then, there has been several situations where police have killed innocent people, many of which were of African-American descent. Some of these incidents have been captured through video recording devices and have gone viral through social media. High-profile African-American athletes like Colin Kaepernick, Carmelo Anthony, and LeBron James have used the internet and social media to spread the word and raise awareness of what's happening in America.
Tonight is a celebration of sports, celebrating our accomplishments and our victories. But in this moment of celebration, we actually start the show tonight this way. The four of us talking to our fellow athletes with the country watching, because we cannot ignore the realities of the current state of America. The events of the past week have put a spotlight on the injustice, distrust, and anger that plague so many of us. The system is broken. The problems are not new, the violence is not new, and the racial divide definitely is not new. But the urgency to create change is at an all-time high.
Many athletes and celebrities have criticized the American judicial system. Through the use of social media and the internet, the Black Lives Matter movement received international attention. Black Lives Matter has been tweeted over 30 million times and has helped activists communicate the scale of this movement to a larger community and help put pressure on the government. Ultimately, the Black Lives Matter movement put criminal justice reform as a priority on the government's agenda. However, this movement hasn't transformed the American criminal justice system, but some progress has been made because it actually has helped change the politics of policing and incarceration in America. This movement also helped push the Obama administration to spend $20 million on body cameras for officers. The government was held accountable for injustices felt by communities and their citizens through the use of information technology, and have put pressure on them to make decisions to promote equality and push for justice. There is no greater example of how technology, particularly social media, can influence democracy than the latest U.S. political election of 2016. From the constant barrage of news on Facebook, Trump's AMA on Reddit, to the explosive tweets on Twitter, there is no doubt that social media had a large impact on the election. In 2008, during Barack Obama's first campaign, only 27% of Americans were using some form of social media during the election. This grew to 54% during the 2012 election for Obama's second run for office. In contrast, today, 69% of American adults use social media. Politicians have embraced this new form of communication and have teams of staffers dedicated to promoting the candidate online. Furthermore, voters are now turning their attention to social media for news about the political campaign, with 8% of voters naming Facebook as their main source of news for the 2016 election, according to the Pew Research Center. But what effect does the growing political presence have on democracy? We'll start with the interactions with the candidates themselves. Out of the two main candidates, Donald Trump certainly has a stronger presence online, with 21.5 million Twitter followers, compared to Hillary Clinton's 12.5 million followers. Most notably, compared to Clinton, Trump's controversial tweets tended to garner lots of media coverage, providing the candidate with plenty of free airtime. With both candidates tweeting on average 11 to 12 posts per day, Trump's posts were retweeted on average 6,000 times, compared to only 1,500 retweets for Clinton's posts. Social media has provided candidates with a more personal platform to reach voters directly with their message, and similarly enables voters to easily express their opinions and concerns directly to the candidate. Sharing on social media enables the user to strongly express their political ideals to their circle of friends, promoting more engagement in politics and enabling the opportunity for political discourse. Overall, the increase of talk around the election online helped to engage and educate citizens in the campaign, helping to improve the democratic process. We are living in a world in which nearly every person can be empowered with the click of a button to have access to nearly unfiltered information. Technology is not perfect. Information can be manipulated to influence decisions made by the people, but a democracy without information technology would be far inferior compared to the one we have. People would not be as informed and educated about current political issues around the world. We have shown that the people are participating more in politics, which is a major pillar of modern democracy. Government officials being responsive to citizens on social media is proof that the internet is great for democracy. Nothing speaks "I care about your problem" more than having the Prime Minister personally respond to your Snapchat. And again, this greatly increases civic participation in politics. Information technology is removing the traditional perspective that the government is a distant and faceless bureaucratic institution, that the citizen has to climb mountains and move stones to communicate with. Therefore, information technology is a driving force for a more democratic society.